Hey y'all. So finances are a big part of this whole coronavirus thing. Of course, a lot of people not working, a fucking lot. And it's funny how so many people I know who were sympathetic to big business before, who always would be like, "Well, we need the corporations. We need them. We need them. They need their tax breaks. They need this and that." And they're broke. These people I know don't make a lot of money. And they've constantly been talking pieces and apologists for these giant corporations that more often than not will receive aid. They'll receive aid more often and in far greater dollar value than the working class, right? So something I don't understand is why you would vote against your best interest, for one, and two, how we are in this situation and we still have people screaming for the wealthy. I don't get it. I mean, isn't this a wake-up call? Isn't this a wake-up call for how we function as a nation, as a planet? We throw away all our money on war. In America, the majority of our budget is wars. Wars that no one wants, except the politicians. It's their idea. Old men talking, young men dying. Okay, and women these days. Okay? And, the amount that we spend on war, if we took 20% off of that, it would feed so many people. Let alone, our war budget is so large simply because we are such an offensive country. It's not a defense budget. It's some kind of offense budget. And this lighter is it's dying on me. So, I think the bottom line here is it's a wake-up call for the country. It's a wake-up call that we need to stop taking it in the ass. It's a wake-up call that most of the politicians will side with big business. We are now in the midst of this fucked up tragedy, and we're behind. We're behind on what we needed to do a long time ago. We're behind on if you are asking somebody for large sums of money and you give them smaller and smaller and smaller sums of money every day. For example, the lack of increase in pay. The raises have not gone up with the rate of inflation. They should be at least $15 an hour, and that shit won't get you anywhere in any city in this country, okay? So 15's being generous on the rich fuckers. I'm thinking, I'm pondering. Another thing, fucking medical in this country. I work with a guy, a good buddy of mine. He's trying to get medication. Well, the medical, whatever. I wasn't really listening to the conversation, but I heard him ranting to another employee. Kind of caught the end of the conversation, saying, I don't want to give them $700 and then wait for the company, the medical company, to reimburse me, the insurance company to reimburse me. I don't want to, even if they say they're going to reimburse me, when's that fucking going to be? So, some of these people who were, Bernie, him and his his health plans, him and his tax plans. Fuck you, okay? I want you to find a goddamn policy that Bernie has been talking about. And look at the timeline of him bringing it up, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because he's been around that long. Check the fucking timeline. Most popular policies are shit that Bernie Sanders started. Period. Show me a popular policy, and I'll show you where Bernie Sanders brought it up. So, this is another one. Single payer health care. Like, the reason why it had not... I mean, don't get me wrong, it was apparent before. It's extra apparent now. Because now we're in the middle of a shitstorm, and we need the medical more than ever. But we fucking... We sit on the pot, and we didn't take a shit. We farted around with this medical stuff. We did not give the people a real fucking answer. Okay? We didn't... Like, when you have to go through 2-3 different sources to get a medical deal signed, and you don't know what it's going to cost, I don't know if you're better at reading your medication than I am, or your medical paperwork than I am. I get confused by that shit. And I know enough that my medical that I pay too much for sucks. I guarantee whatever Bernie's plan has, it's not going to cost what I pay for medical and never use it. I never use it because I'm going to have to pay the doctor like $40, $50, whatever the fuck it is. And then if it's anything serious, I'm going to have a deductible. Okay? I don't go to the fucking doctor. I may have hernias. Sometimes my stomach feels weird. Not agonizing pain, but it's just... You feel funny, in your guts. And, I work hard. I lift hard. Sometimes you get pain here and there. I don't go to a doctor because I don't want to pay. Okay? I'll pay in my taxes, and I'll pay one person in my taxes for good medical. It's comparable to the other first world countries. But this has to fucking change. And we got so many people in our government once again who, when it comes time to help, not even just poor people, like half the country, like most workers don't make more than 60 grand. I think the handful of people in tech and in medical fields that make a lot of money tip the scales quite a bit, but I don't think most people in America make more than 60 grand. I think a lot of people in this country make less than 30 grand. In big cities, nonetheless. So, how long are we just going to let this fire burn? Like, if the amount of money that goes up the ladder and does not come back down is insane. If you are, I think I started this and I stopped earlier, I got distracted. Imagine I'm the wealthy person and I need to continue to get money from the poor to survive, right? To keep up my wealth. Well, if I fucking wring that rock dry, if I demand money from these people until they don't have any more money, eventually I'm going to start burning through my money. And they're not going to have any more money to give me. So I think that's really what's happening right now. Is a certain number of rich people are realizing, oh fuck, the poor get fucked, we get fucked. But I don't think the politicians pulling the strings are making enough vital changes. We need to get the fat cats out of our government. Period. That's the bottom line. We need to stop making excuses for them. When they say something's going to be bad for the poor, you need to check them. Don't believe them. They would tell you that food is bad for you if they could. Alright? Just to get you to stop eating. I don't know. Then if you die, you're not paying them. So I don't know if they want you dead. But, it's just they're not looking out for you. And the way you get them to look out for you is to check what they're saying. Don't just believe what they're fucking saying. Too many people just believe what the wealthy people say. Oh, a highly successful man or woman. They clearly know what they're doing. Well, you don't know how they got their money. You don't know what their path. You don't know what they know. You know what credentials they may or may not have. Don't just believe shit. Like, science works, evidence works, facts work, and the fact of the matter is, the rich they're gonna have to do more. Like, it's just, I know Republicans are gonna get in this video and tell me to pull myself up by my bootstraps, but I'd like to know where they're getting their money right now. So post what you do for a living before you talk shit right here, and post if you're getting money from a significant other, and because that's usually how it goes when people tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and it ain't so bad. They're usually mooching off someone else and not telling you about it. So anyway, this whole thing is such a fucking meltdown. It's a meltdown that does not need to be as much of a meltdown as it should be. We need to invest in medicine, research, hospitals, the important shit, not bombs. Like, get out. Especially since, like, social distancing, get out. Fucking just get out. Get out of the Middle East. Cut our military budget in half. Start some clean energy. We need battery-operated cars. We need turbines. We need windmills. We need to generate some real revenue. We're not pushing forward as far as, like, what's going to drive us into the future instead of killing us. So, I don't know. I'm just another person. You know, people, especially Republicans, they get all pissed off at me. You know, when I try to make a say, when I get up on my soapbox, but I'm not a politician. Like, this is what we do. The citizens, this is how we make a change. Or this is the closest thing I can get to making a change. So, Trump, you need to wake the fuck up. You've been an embarrassment to the world for your whole fucking presidency. You saying that this epidemic is going to be over by Easter just to make you and your Jesus freak buddies happy? You're encouraging people to gather on Easter? Oh, I don't want to ruin the day. I was unhappy that Easter was going to be ruined, and I'm not even Christian. It's kind of one of the first days of the year. People really start getting out and gathering, and sometimes the sun will be out. You never know around here on the Pacific Northwest. So, I get it. It's sad. It's sad that we can't get out on Easter. But people are dying by the thousands. So, like, you need to put your feelings in your pocket, be a big boy for once, and respond to this emergency. Like, you need to put your feelings away and stop trying to satisfy your base, because this is a worldwide problem. Like, this Trump, Trump knows that there's a small number of people in this country that likes him, so he only talks to them. Well, that shit's got to stop, because you know, getting up there and doing the monkey dance for the inbreds is not going to save this country, and the rest of the planet needs us, and they need you to be an adult. And if your mental capacity is not capable, if your maturity level is not capable, you need to get the fuck out of the way and take Pence with you, okay? Because I have no faith in you. And the way you lashed out at that reporter, like, who wasn't even questioning you, who just said people are scared, what do you say to them? You called him a bad reporter and you talked shit to him for a minute, at least? This is the person controlling the world right now. I mean, Trump is president of the United States, but the United States controls a lot of what happens around the country, or around the planet. It's scary that a retard like this, excuse me using the R word, a monkey like this could have so much power and so much say over what's going on and the lives that are at stake. It's just, he's got to go. He's got to go. And Biden, we can't vote for that retard either. So I'm Bernie all the way.